quick, just talking. Of course, have to redirect or circumlocute certain words which I can't say, or things I can't bring up. Prefacing this, things I can't talk about, and of course, be that as it may, the golly gee, what would I say if I could talk? Let's see what I say. Let's see. There's a whole lot of developments which are very clouded in their outcome. I'm very serious about it. Having a very hard time, wishing things weren't this way, but that doesn't help. Of course, now working towards a goal is very difficult, especially when there's a increase for property taxes in this area. The rents are very extraordinarily difficult to stay in what I seem to have chosen as a place to be and probably be for a while. Unfortunately, the economic strangulation of the lower working class has become a practice of American culture and the American way, which is squeezing the living daylights out of the ability of people who are living paycheck to paycheck. The impossibility of reason is the result of the destruction of the American dream, which was a nightmare because I guess, well, of course, as Carlin said, you have to be asleep to believe it, but it's really just a Teletubby of redundance and repetition of struggle. 5 cents under, you have 5 cents or 20 cents less than you need to get by. So I am babbling on about something that I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what the outcome is going to be. I used to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what kind of content I could make that would be interesting, and now it's lost its fervor due to the theft of my ability to compose. Well, of course, compose is easy, but the recording and filming of material that I shoot and record and put onto an editing system, which is real cheap, but it worked really well. See the last video I edited called Funk in the Air. That's the last one. Like, I have a fan club that people are really interested in talking and me hearing things, hearing about that, right? Sure. Okay. Let's see. The powers, the directive givers in the let's see. I don't know, the section of Google that fixes the game, rigs the game, and as far as where your videos go feed, like when you're gonna go on, or when you're gonna upload a video, whether or not it's posted to somebody's subscription feed. Hello. That's really nice architecture. It's cruel, but it is. Hello, person, or human, or whatever you want to be called. Just talking. It's Friday night, and I'm going to be. I gotta. It's going to rain like crap for the next few days, which really makes me upset because I really wanted to play guitar, get some fret time going, and really work on some ideas that I have. And it's frustrating because I get these ideas in my head when I'm away from my guitar, and it happens all the time. But when I'm with my guitar or playing the guitar, I usually just go spontaneous and go through the RC10 and pick a drum pattern, and then like I'll take the punk, one of the punk presets, and I'll go, I don't know, 2-measure beat 1 or beat 7 or something, and I'll slow it down from 120 or 140 down to 90 or 80. And so what you have is a punk beat, but it's slow. And there's a lot of polyrhythms that are in there that you can't really, there's kind of a swing to it almost, which I like. You know, if you take a real fast punk beat and you slow it down, I mean, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work from an uncommon place. I mean, if I'm going to play with a real drummer, I'm just going to let them, you know, make something up and I'll follow them. Then I'll get in the pocket with rhythm, you know, and make something up that is like a new start or a start of something. You know, you're always going to write the same thing, you know, sometimes. That's always going to happen. And you're always going to come up with stuff, even if you don't listen to other people's music, you're always going to come up with stuff that's going to sound like so-and-so and so-and-so. So I kind of pulled that out of my frame of mind when I approached guitar, because it's been my experience for 30 years that happens. You know, irregardless if you listen to so-and-so and so-and-so, it's still going to come out. You're going to sound like the Richie Blackmore part or the whatchamacallit, I don't know, some Eric Clapton riff or something like that, you know. So you can't avoid it. And being hung up about it and saying, there's no use in it, well, that's BS. I'm not going to stop simply because something sounds like somebody. I would like to have an acoustic guitar or a 12-string. And when I have had access to acoustic guitar or 12-string, I've recorded and made some things, and I put them on this channel. There's one I put up a few weeks ago. Well, actually, 2016, I recorded it. There's 17. It's under the kitchen. It's just a real quiet acoustic thing. But, you know, I'd really like to get in the studio and work with all these tools, these raw tools, and, you know, actually make something productive. But, you know, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, those things are not possible due to the constraints and destruction of free thought, expression, the pushing of the thing, and the ramming of the thought police into the lexicon of common speak. You know, it's not Ministry of Information approved. So that's why I'm talking about the music thing, because they would have to extrapolate an awful lot and make something up and totally warp something if that was some kind of hate speech. Bass. That's something I'd like, you know, if I could, well, when I do, or I would add bass tracks into the songs. But I would tend to, like Norman and I used to do, the drummer, I was on a lot of the interval stuff that's on my channel, and stuff I did in the early or the mid 2000s. Play bass and guitar on the stuff, unless I can have somebody play bass. Especially in a situation, if I could get all this together, have a digital tracking system that I can play gigs with. So in other words, I would record pieces of music that are like, I don't know, 3 minutes long, and then 5 or 7 minutes long, and have a set of 14 or 16 songs that would be made by me, and I would have rhythm tracks and maybe backing harmonies or third or whatever. I don't know. I'm not getting too complicated. So what it would have was an intro. The songs would have an intro. Most of them have an intro, and they'd be a complete song, rather than the stuff I've been putting up for the past 2 years, which is just starting just with drums sometimes, and then the rhythm guitar will fade in, and then I'll try, when I'm done recording these, when I record them, then I add tracks when I'm playing it live. It's funny because I will hit the ending. You have to tap to stop the RC, to stop the drum beat. It does a closing beat, and it's really funny. Sometimes it's really long. So it'll be like the straight rock beat, you know, and I'm going along with it, and then I'm trying to end the song, and I tap the thing twice, and it goes, does this, and it's like it doesn't end. It goes on for another measure. I'm going, hey, end the song. Anyway, I'm talking to myself. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm speaking Japanese. Speaking Japanese? I really think so. That's it. That's it. I'm really tired. I'm really sleepy. I'm over. Yeah, I think. Oh God, so much. I can't even document it. Even think of how much sleep I've lost. I would have to go back a year. So you get older, you lose sleep, you age faster. Face for radio becomes more apparent. So that's why I do videos like this, because let's see what else. The wonderful human being who's dear and near to my heart is she's in the hospital, and something happened, and it's totally destroyed. It's terrible to. I don't have any answers. Fortunately, I've had these friends who've helped me discuss or talk things out. I've had a couple suggestions. One guy I just said, walk away, and an old friend of mine who I spoke to, dear old high school friend I keep in touch with, he said, walk away, leave, don't talk to her anymore. And I was kind of surprised that he would say that, but I hesitated, and I thought, well, I really need to hear all kinds of suggestions on this. I can't just blot out things I don't like. So I thought about it, and I said, no, I'm going to be with her. I'm going to be there for her beyond as much as I can. I mean, where she is about a 90-minute bus ride, 3 buses away. And it's really hard to wait for her to contact me, because I got the distinct impression when I was trying to verify that she was going to this other inpatient place that they didn't want me to reach her. I made a mistake. The first time I got a hold of somebody, I identified myself. That was a mistake. I always thought that when you identify yourself, people who are receiving the call would be more apt to be more, they would listen to you. Because if you don't tell them who you are, they're going to think in their head, who is this, who's calling? But whatever. That was stupid. So what they do is, with your phone number, with these places, they want to keep, if there are people that are being put in there who've got troubled times, and they have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, that person's going to try to contact them right away when they get put in there. But what they do is they drive a wedge between these people. Hello, DJ. What they do is, with these people who are in a relationship, and one of them has something happens to them where they're put in this hospital and you can't reach them. Well, there's a 3-day period sometimes where that person can't have access to a phone. What I was trying to do is just verify where she was. And I think about what the woman told me. I think she told me in code that she was going to be there, and she was going to give me, I also gave her my phone number on a piece of paper so she could call me when I saw her at the hospital before she got moved. And so she has my number on a piece of paper, unless it was taken from her or something. But, she went through some really, where she lives, her living situation, this person who she was renting with, this guy is extremely screwed up, turns out. She's known him for about 4 years, and she only came from Wisconsin in early October. And I met her around my birthday, late October. So, and I met so many women in the past 8-9 years that I could have at least, had a good time with, right? But see, now in my wisdom, I am after somebody who's got heart, intelligence, sense of humor, sensitivity, also the ability to be harsh. Somebody who fights for what they've really learned to be right and true, not just what is told to them, right? I want somebody who thinks for themselves. somebody who's strong in the sense that they don't give in very easily. And this woman is really great. We get along really great. I'm really happy and I'm really surprised that, that I could meet somebody. And it was at the time when I wasn't looking for anybody. And that's when it always happens to anybody. And this is if you're even, but I haven't heard from her, so it helps me to talk about this, whether or not anybody thinks it's funny or it's humorous. I'm trying to work things out in a safe language, so I'm using YouTube, so I'm not going to try to go into negativity things. I want to try to flush it out. Either leave the video up as private, maybe leave it up because maybe people will think it's funny, or will understand what I'm going through. And thank you very much. What I would really like is if anybody, because I have a limited audience due to the Google punishment system. If you've had a loved one and you're trying to, you can't call them. You can't say, hey man, how are you okay? Are they feeding you? No, they have to when they get access to a phone, okay? Now, gosh, man, I think I went through some stuff in DC there where I didn't have access to a phone. And I did a lot. I did that stuff I did for the incident in 2001. I did activism in that. I did I actually went, I had that, oh God, what was the name of that guy that got burned in the lobby? Well, his father was going to approach, legal precedent for this individual who was killed, how can I say this, in that tall building, the number 1, and the fire that burned him alive happened about 30 seconds before the object in the sky hit the top of the building, okay, or the 87th floor. Did I safely describe that without actually saying what I'm talking about? That's just an example of something that I really believed in, because, had somebody, they're not walking around because of this. So I really hate trying to talk about this stuff without actually saying the proper words. It's so funny. It's like you're trying to speak about something that you're passionate about, but you have to use more words because you can't just say, World Trade Center. Let's see. So back to music. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with that. But my guitar is at this place that I play every week, and so if I can get somebody, these few people I know, these musicians, I don't know if I'm going to get together with them and play, but I would like to go to the park and play. There's got to be someplace else where there's electricity where I can just appear out of nowhere and just start playing guitar, freak people out. It's really funny when I'm playing in the park because these people are like, I don't know if they're tourists or not, or if they live here, but it's funny because they'll hear the music and they'll be like, what the hell? And there's this fucking guy playing guitar. Okay, is that me? Oh, I'm gonna answer this. All right, bye. That now my attitude's increased in a positive way. So I'm gonna go take care of business. Love you guys. Bye.